ships as one of the most important tools for us to transport on the ocean. There are a lot of a lot of events relevant to ships, like illegal oil dumping, which is very bad for our environment, and ship traffic monitoring. And there are also when we meet some emergency in the ocean, so we'll need to deal with emergency. And another thing is illegal fishing, and a lot of other things I haven't listed on it. And to deal with that, we have a lot of tools, and one of them is authentic active radar, or we can say SAR. It has its very special advantage, like a large coverage. It can cover a large area with one image, and it is independent of solar illumination, which means that we can see the ships even in the night. And the third one is it has very quick repeat passes, because we don't have a lot of satellite. We have the radar sensor, so we can have one every image in less than 1 day. And another development is the parametric SAR, which could provide more information about scattering properties, and can provide even the phase info of the backscattering. Let's look at the picture on the right side. These two are the ships, and these two are the false alarms. It is very hard for us to discriminate them from one polarization, which is HH polarization, or even from HV or VV. We all couldn't discriminate them. But in a parametric SAR, we can determine them because they have different scattering properties. So what we do is to use the parametric SAR data, which is here is a RedSat2 data, to deal with the detection of the ships. As SAR ships always have a lot of noises, so we need to make a multi-log to make the noise less. So we make a multi-log T matrix, and then for T matrix we make the decomposition, which is eigenvector decomposition, and decompose it to 3 eigenvalues. The first eigenvalue, second, and the third. And from the eigenvalue, we will analyze the scattering properties of the ships and the oceans, or the azimuths and ambiguities, or something like that, to discriminate, to find out what is the difference between ships and non-ships. And the third one, we will use some method to take out a threshold to discriminate the ships from non-ships on the ocean. And there is some selection rule. Here we pick is the point that is larger, that is higher than the threshold, and the point density. And thus we'll get our detection result. The image we use, we have 3 images to test our data, all from the East China Sea. And the first A and B region are coming from the same day, and the third image from another day. To be mentioned here, we have AIS message, which shows where the ships are in the images to tell us it's real ships. The information is coming from the ship to the tower or on the land. These are the 3 images. When a radar scattering it's by microwave to the surface, and the surface will give it back to the radar will receive it. If it goes to a ship, because a ship are always made of metal, and it is always a very complex structure, so the backscattering wave will have very large power, which shows very bright on the SAR images. And if it comes to the ocean, since ocean are always very flat, the backscattering always are very likely. As some comparing, it is dark. So just using the intensity of the backscattering, it is a very good way to discriminate ships from non-ships. However, if we only use this method, we sometimes can get something wrong. The first thing is azimuth ambiguity, which is this purple one. It is also like a ship. We cannot discriminate this. The azimuth ambiguities are caused by discrete sampling of the Doppler frequency signal, and the Doppler frequencies higher than the pulse repetition frequency of PRF are folded into the central part of the azimuth spectrum, so that it analyzes the signals are produced. It is always a certain distance. The distance is certain from the real ship. It can be calculated from the formula here. The delta x is the distance from the ships. Another thing is the coherent noises, which is green on the poly-RGB image. It is also have very strong scattering on the span image, but they are not ships. What we will do is to find out what's the difference from those things. As T matrix is an amateur matrix, it can definitely be decomposed into this form, which you showing the eigenvalue matrix, eigenvector matrix, and the sigma is the eigenvalue matrix. Each vector of U represents a certain kind of scattering, and the eigenvalue shows the power of this kind of scattering. As this, we can see from this image, if a shape is decomposed into 3 eigenvalues, in the order of eigenvalues, shapes always have very strong scatterings. However, if we decompose it into azimuth ambiguity into the 3 eigenvalues, we can see from the third eigenvalue, it has very sparse intensities here. These can be detected. However, we can use our method later to eliminate these things from the images. And this is a whole image. We can see the poly-RGB image. The azimuth ambiguities are very clear, which is purple. And from one polarization, it is also very bright here. It's certain distance from the real image, which I look very similar. However, if you look at the third eigenvalue, it almost disappears. The coherent noise is the same case. In first and second, it is very strong, but in the third, it is sparse. Here's also image. The shape there is very clear, and from one polarization, we can see the noises. However, if we look it from the third eigenvalue, it all disappears. So let's give a short conclusion. Shapes have very strong scattering due to their structure and material. And azimuths, ambiguities, and coherent noises also have very strong scattering, which might cause false alarms. The third eigenvalue can lower the value of the azimuths, ambiguities, and the coherent noises. So we use the third eigenvalue as our detection image to detect shapes. This is the third eigenvalue image. It is reflected to different colors. And what we do is OSC file. This is the flowchart of the OSC file. We can set a PFA. PFA is a probability for false alarm rate. And from the probability false alarm rate, we can make a sorting of the image and find the depths what we are looking for, and find the threshold. And the points that is higher than the threshold, we can find them and make them 1. And then the point that is lower than threshold is 0. So we'll get a 1-0 image. Then we set a searching diameter, which means that a shape is always a certain distance, like 200 meters or 300 meters, what we are looking for. So make a searching diameter to search the shapes. And a pre-extraction can be made, and a pre-result can get, which is 1-0, or a circle in which a shape is in it or a shape is not in it. And in the next part, we will discriminate whether we'll find out whether it is a shape or it is not a shape. What we do is by two ways. One is the number of the points that is higher than the threshold. Another is the density. We set a certain diameter. For example, this is a shape. If this is a shape, the diameter is set, and the points in it, we can count the points in it. If the points number is higher than the threshold and the number we set, then it is probably a shape. If it is not, it is probably not a shape. And another way is use the gravity density. Since 2 points, if they are too close together, like two planets, if 2 planets or 2 objects are very closely to each other, they will always have very strong power that attracts each other. So if it is the 2 points are close together, it will have very high gravity value. If they are very in a certain distance away, it will have very low gravity value. So for a shape, it will always have a lot of points being together. If it is being together, then it will have a very strong density. So shapes can have very strong density. If it is just the ocean, or that's the points that we have said before, is azimuth ambiguity or the coherent noises, it could be very sparse. If it is sparse, it will have low density. So we can make a threshold to discriminate the shapes from the non-shapes. The next part is our detection results. This is the image we have just shown before. We can see the azimuth and ambiguity, but in the results of our OSC file, we can only see the shapes but not the non-shapes. And in this image also. This slide shows the detection results of our method, which is E here, and other method, traditional method, which is PWF, one polarization method, and span technique method. We can see from the image that there is a green coherent noise and a lot of the azimuth ambiguities in these images. We can mark them with a red arrow, and the coherent noise will mark them with a green noise with green mark. But we can see from other methods that there are a lot of false alarms there, but in our proposed method there's none. And this is the slides of showing the results of our proposed method. From the first two rows are two shapes, which can be detected from all the methods. But for azimuth ambiguities and the coherent noise, these methods can somehow all detect them. But in our methods, we are eliminating them. This is a table showing the results of our methods in the three images we have said before, region A, region B, and region C. The first, the region A and the region C, we have all relevant, almost the same results. But in the region B, since there are a lot of azimuth ambiguities and coherent noise there, all other methods detected a lot of false alarms, but our method gives a very, very good performance. We also did our method into these three images with different sizes. For 40 different sizes images of the three images, we can get our method the rate of the result of our method. This is the rate of proposed method. It is the detection rate is almost it is very nice here. And what is the best is the false number rate. We can keep down the false number rate from the images, and it is better. It is better than the other four methods. Okay, now is our conclusion. In this presentation, in this paper, we analyzed the scattering properties by eigenvalue, eigenvector decomposition, and the proposed method can discriminate shapes from azimuth, ambiguities, coherent noises, and the C cluster. And it has very good performance on the detection rate and false alarm rate. That's all. Thank you very much.
Are there any questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good presentation.
Thank you.
And, you mentioned that you choose the third eigenvalue
Yes.
at the based on thank you. So you choose the third eigenvalue.
Yes.
Did you check other images?
Yeah.
This was based on this.
So our method is specifically for the application on the set2 data, because it is very the azimuth ambiguity is very severe in C-band star images. So it is somehow designed just for RESET2, and we do not have other parametric star images, so we cannot just check our method.
Okay, so your recommendation is based on the data you use, not a general recommendation.
Yeah, it is RESET2.
Okay, and also how do you choose the threshold? Do you is it specific to your data?
Yes, here the threshold here.
Yeah.
So it's not this one. The threshold here is just by sorting. Since the third eigenvalue, the distribution function is very hard to achieve. So what we here is OSC for it's just from the block we just assuming that the clusters always have very low scattering power, and shapes have very strong scattering power, and we will have two peaks of the histogram.
Yeah. So,
and we will set
so it's based on histogram.
Yes, we'll have the false number rate here to find the point just by setting the probability of false number rate.
My third comment, where do you learn English? Your English is very good.
Sorry?
It's a comment. It's, your English is very good. Where do you learn English?
In China.
China.
So thank you very much.
I have a question.
Yes.
How about the relationship between the resolution of the sun image and the size of the ship? That means if your reference to image the resolution is about maybe 5 meters.
Yes.
Yeah. How about the minimum size of the ship?
Oh, the size of the ship is chosen by the users. So you said I want those 200 length meters. I do not find you 50 meters ships. Well, find what you want to find.
Yeah.
If you say I want to find 50 meters length, the ships of 50 meters length. I'll find from the images the shapes is larger than 50 meters. Which is if it is shorter than 50 meters, I will eliminate them.
Okay.
I will ignore them.
One more question in that I want to find the ships with minimum length of 10 meters.
Yes.
Is it possible? That's my question.
There are some researchers are dealing with the problem, but I can't say there's probably have some problem, but it will cause a lot of false alarms.
Yeah.
Since the reflection from the ocean, it could also have 2 pixels being together. That is higher than the threshold you set. It is very difficult, I must say, but I think it is possible.
But so what is the limitation? You should know the limitation of your...
Yes, we need to find user set the limitation. The
Yeah.
users should set the limitations.
If you can go further steps, this will be a very good thing.
Thank you very much.
Okay, has there any question? So, if it is not the case, please thank all the speakers again, and I will close this session. Enjoy the coffee break, then the panel discussion will begin. Okay, see you.